Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 5, and this is going to be my review on Episode 3 of Arrow Season 5, otherwise entitled A Matter of Trust. So obviously before we go ahead, there will be spoilers in this review, so if you've not seen the episode, go watch it, come back, and then discuss what you thought in the comments. But as always, if you're going to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it, leave your opinions on what you thought on the episode, as well as my opinions in the comments section below, and subscribe if you're new. So firstly, I thought it was really cool that Flash was included in the intro to set up the whole effect of Flashpoint in regards to Diggle. Now if you don't watch Flash and you only watch Arrow, obviously Flashpoint has affected Diggle's son, or Diggle's children, sorry. Sarah, his daughter, does not exist anymore, and now he has a son, John Diggle Jr., who I think is like 2 years older than Sarah would have been. And John is like slightly mentioned by, I think it was Lila in this episode. But we'll probably see him later on this season. Obviously this episode has Cody Rhodes in it, who is formerly Stardust of the WWE. And the big drug circulating throughout the city is called, well, Stardust. Which they obviously only called it that because of Cody Rhodes' involvement, but it's only mentioned a handful of times, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. I like that Ollie learnt about Prometheus, even though he didn't see him or learn his name, but just the fact that he knows there is someone out there hunting him down. You would think that would make Ollie watch his back from now on, or at least like keep an eye out for someone that might seem like they want to kill him. But we actually got a big reveal in this episode when we see Diggle in jail, and he gets locked up in none other than Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot's cell. Now is this an effect of Flashpoint, or did he just survive the explosion back in Season 3? But it's extremely strange because we actually find out that Diggle is actually hallucinating Deadshot because of all this stress and everything going on in his life, and I guess the fact that he's in prison and probably losing his mind. So we met Adrian Chase throughout this episode, who is the new district attorney of Star City. Now he will end up being a character known as the Vigilante, like that's actually his name, like the Vigilante. And I think in episode 1 you actually see a sketch of him, I'm pretty sure. So he is known to people, but people just don't know that he is the Vigilante. One thing that got old in this episode pretty quick was Ragman, like questioning everything that happened within Team Arrow. I'm assuming they did that for at least the first half of the episode, just to give him lines in the episode, so he just wasn't standing there saying nothing. The fight scene in the hospital between Green Arrow and Derek Sampson after he basically like comes back to life was pretty sick and pretty gross at the same time when he gets that like arrow stuck in him and just like walks out of it. It was, yeah, pretty gross. I love seeing Deadshot back, especially like the back and forth between him and Diggle, which was great. But thank God Curtis was prominent throughout this episode, otherwise Felicity would have been a hypocrite once again and kept a pretty big secret from a member of Team Arrow. Because you're going to remember, whenever someone keeps a secret, Felicity's the first one to get on their back. Now we met the new TV news reporter in this episode, who is Susan Williams. Now Susan Williams just being on the show is a bit of an Easter egg and a link to Green Lantern, which obviously has been linked in The Flash and Arrow itself. In the comics, she is married to Jim Jordan, who is actually Hal Jordan's younger brother, so Susan Williams is the sister-in-law to Green Lantern. Does this mean Green Lantern's coming on the show? Probably not, but at least you get a little hint to it. We got a name drop of the original Mr. Terrific, Terry Sloan, when Curtis explains his jacket to the others, which has fair play on it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now the takedown of Derek Sampson in this episode was pretty sick. When Ollie cuts the tendons, so he basically becomes immobile and is like moving like a rag doll. Now throughout this we got like the first new Team Arrow group mission, but really there wasn't too much focus on them. You see, it was more focused on Curtis if anything. And you see like Wild Dog, Artemis and Ragman do like one or two things, which weren't that amazing. It was more Mr. Terrific that was the focus throughout this mission, other than Green Arrow obviously. I did like seeing Ollie take responsibility for everything done as mayor, like taking all that pressure off of Thea. Because if you were watching it, you had to admit it in the first couple of episodes, like Thea was basically mayor. He was doing nothing. So hopefully from now on, Thea still does a lot, but at least Ollie takes some responsibility as well. Now, towards the end of the episode, we saw Felicity finally tell Ragman that she was the one who nuked Haven Rock. Now, he did not take it that well, which you wouldn't be expecting him to, but it will be interesting to see where that story goes throughout this season. I'm assuming it's only going to last 2 or 3 episodes, like that angst between them two. And I'm not going to go into detail about how bad that acting was by Felicity, because I know it will just annoy people that think that's good acting, so I'm just going to leave it. But then straight after that, we got the setup for next week with Ollie and Lila. Now next week, Ollie and Lila will be going on a mission by themselves to get Diggle out of jail. And that will leave new Team Arrow and Felicity behind in Star City, where things don't go that well. I guess that's the most I'll say. But overall, I thought this was an okay episode. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. It was just that, that average episode. Usually episode 3 or episode 4 is that average episode towards the beginning of the season, just to flesh out some stuff for later episodes, which is basically what this episode was. And that sort of explains why they got Cody Rhodes to come in and just play this, forgettable character. But obviously they set up next episode with Ollie and Lila. They set up some angst between Felicity and Ragman. And they also set up some stuff with Mr. Terrific and the rest of New Team Arrow. And Flash and Arrow had really similar episodes this week where they can be seen as filler episodes, which I don't see as surprising because, as I said, most seasons tend to have a filler episode early on around episode 3 or episode 4. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, if you could leave a like on the video, it'd be very much appreciated. Make sure to specifically leave what you thought of the episode in the comment section below, but also compare them to what I thought of the episode as well. If you are not subscribed to the channel, it'd be very much appreciated if you could subscribe to keep up to date with all the Flash, Legends, Supergirl, and Arrow videos and stuff like that. Tomorrow is obviously Legends of Tomorrow Day, so I'll have a review up for that, and then hopefully a trailer breakdown later on as well. So keep your eyes out for that, but until then, guys, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.